Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we build products in public. Each week, we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I am Benedicte, and I am feeling celebratory.
And I'm Benedikt. Today is January 11th. This is episode number 122, and I'm feeling productive. And you're feeling celebratory because it's your birthday.
It's my birthday. Woo! I'm going to party.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday. And it's a year from being 40. And if people can travel next year, there's going to be a big ass party in Oslo, Norway, January 2023. You're all invited.
So all listeners are invited?
All our listeners are invited. I will
Nice.
update you on the location and places to stay if you travel to Oslo in January next year. That would be super. I mean, that would be a dream come true. Like if we could have like a mini conference for my birthday. Not a conference, but like the hallway track. We just do the party and hang out and talk and just hang out with people and maybe even like hug them. That would be awesome.
That would be nice. Yeah, let's hope we as humanity can make that work for next year. What's been going on otherwise? How was your birthday? Like, are you what are you doing to celebrate?
So this morning I was woken by the Pirate Princess and Captain Ola and my mom. So that's kind of our tradition, is that you are like awoken with like cake and presents and stuff like that. And it's really cute because Lillian is still at that age where she thinks that I am actually asleep, that she's actually waking me up. And we live in quite a tiny house, so I hear everything that's going on. And that is just like, it makes it even better I think that that makes the experience better for me, like laying there, like listening to them, like organizing and getting the coffee ready and the cake and the presents and all of that. So it was a really nice start to the day. And then I did some yoga because, I'm yogaing. And I got a yoga mat. Because I left my yoga mat at the mountain cabin, so I didn't, and I'm gonna get it back. But like so Ula got me this kind of smaller, more travel-sized yoga mat. So now I have two when I get the other one back, if I ever get the other one back. But so I got to use that today because I've been doing yoga just straight on the floor since Christmas, just because I'm not gonna let that kind of make me not do it. But it hasn't been that nice.
Yeah.
It's like my knees are like killing me. I'm like trying to put a blanket under the knees, but then that's wrong. And then you're like, you're slipping all over the place. Anyway, that is, I know some of the listeners are now like doing the yoga with me. See that we have a little Twitter group going, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
And it helps. Some days it's been like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then somebody kind of, checks in and says that they've done the yoga for the day and how they're feeling. They're like, yes, I'm going to do it too. So that actually helps. But yeah, it's a great birthday so far. No big birthday bash this year, unfortunately. But I think there's going to be some outside wine in a neighbor's yard tonight. We're just going to send out some messages and see like who's available. So we're just going to be a small crowd and we'll be outside and, in the snow drinking some wine.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. But other than that, do you want me to keep continuing?
Yeah, just continue. Like what else has been going on last week?
Yeah. So for people listening last week, I came into the new year. I was like super energetic and I was just so ready for the year. And I was. And then I just kind of crashed into the end of last week. I don't really know exactly what happened, but for some reason I just could not wrap up that contract. Like I was just like, I could not make this video. It just didn't want to. And I also think I was sick, but like sometimes I feel like it's hard to know if it's a cold or if you're just like, crashing mentally. But I ended up just like staying in bed most of Friday and that's the only day I skipped yoga. And then I kind of stayed in bed most of Saturday as well. And then we had some family things. And then um, I managed to like get back into the yoga. And then coming into Monday, I just like did all of the tasks that I'm supposed to do on Monday. And I kind of came out of Monday feeling really good. So I think this kind of like the engine that we talked about that I have going and kind of the routine around that is really good, because then like on the Monday, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I have this planning session with a group of people, and then I now send out an email about what's up in, what do I call it, this week around the Gatsby Islands. And then when I've done that, I feel like, yeah, I'm things are starting. I'm like doing things. And it's a really good start to the week. So I am feeling really good again today, or yesterday, actually. But it was weird because I think somebody, in the community that we were a part of, were like, oh, Benedicta's energy just going into the new year. And I think that was around like the day I was like crashing, and I was like, I'm not doing anything. So I just wanted to be honest that this kind of podcast mood, it's not always there. But it does help having this check-in as well for me. I know talking through my week, I always find some good nuggets when I have to like go through my week, and that is also really good for my psyche, at least. Like I usually get pumped doing these podcasts. While I think maybe somebody else would like get more like low, like, oh, I haven't done anything, like talk themselves down. I don't know. I tend to talk myself up or us up. Like I'm like, yes, we are like doing it. So mood is back up. Hopefully it doesn't crash again by the end of the week.
Well, maybe that's a sign to do just a four workday week or so, something like that.
Why not? So, but then, as I mentioned with Queen Ray, like I have a very solid schedule now for the whole week. I've become a daily emailer since the new year. So I've done it for a week. So now I'm going to call myself a daily emailer, the same way I call myself, a yoga person. What is that in English? A yogaist? A yogi?
I've got no idea. But something like that, probably, yeah.
Something like that. So I did another screencast today. So an email about that will go out today. And it feels, I've heard, Jonathan Stark, my mentor, talk about doing daily emails. And they're like, that's crazy. It's going to take so much time. It takes me like 6 hours to write an article. Like, how am I supposed to do a daily email? And the way I've set it up now is that on Monday, it's kind of like what's up around the Gatsby Islands, as I said, this weekend. It's my kind of streaming schedule, but then I also sprinkle in events that I feel are relevant to Gatsby, and then also some news that are relevant to Gatsby. So it's a way, I stay updated on Gatsby anyhow, so it's a good way to kind of capture some of that and use that in an email. And then on Tuesday, it's about the live screencast. And then on Wednesday, it's about Ula's screencast, which is now on Sundays. And then on Thursday, it's a free-for-all. And then Friday, it's a little recap about something that we talked about on the Thursday stream. So I feel like the streams are what are like work, and then the emails are a little bit of work, but I'm getting into really good flow. And also, so last week I managed then to kind of, it's more of a conversation because you can reference like yesterday's email. You don't have to like write an article that covers all the bases and kind of introduces everything. You can kind of pick up and like talk about things you've talked about before. And it felt really nice. It flows nice. And I'm getting a lot more ideas, and topics are becoming smaller because that you can like cover topics in several installments. I get to practice talking about Gatsby. So there's a lot of benefits that I've heard about, but I've believed it, but it like not truly believed it. So we'll see how that goes, like how long I can keep that going. And as with the yoga, I'll be, if I skip a day every now and then, like I'm going to be okay with that. Like I'm not gonna like force myself if I get sick again or like things happen, but I'm gonna try. And it is easier than writing weekly because it's just like you do it every day, and it's just, yeah. And if it's not that good, you can try again the next day. It's like your email. And I've gotten a really nice reply to my kind of 2-part series last week, and also gotten some nice tweets about how I am getting somebody interested in the Gatsby magic. So that felt very validating that people actually take the time to tell me that they like what I'm doing. Which
That's
is really
cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to just keep on going? I did first last time too. Next time you're up first.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You know what?
Just keep going.
Please keep going. So another thing that I feel like good now that I write, when I ended up writing daily, was that for the Thursday one, I kind of I used some older content because I did a video for Gatsby 2 years ago. So I managed to kind of reference that video and talk about what I talked about in that video. And that was not planned, but that actually ended up being the topic for the stream the next day. So I could follow up on the Friday as well, which was about client-side rendering with Gatsby. And then I managed to use POW as an example, which is now it's all coming together. Because now that I kind of talk more about it, it feels okay to like use POW as an example every now and then, but not like have everything be about POW. So I feel like this is coming together very nicely. And we are thinking about changing up that pirate stream on Thursdays because we've been helping Miriam, as you know, and that has worked really well because I don't have to prepare everything that's going to happen on that stream. So we're thinking about doing some different formats we will kind of rotate this spring. Try to have maybe like a show and tell where somebody comes on and shows up something they've made with Gatsby or a plugin they've made for Gatsby or something like that, a little closer to kind of learn with Jason, if anybody's familiar with that show. And then we can have Miriam back when she has new questions and needs help with her site, or other people so if you're out there and you're working on a Gatsby site and you know you need help and you're okay going on stream, you can get some help from me if you want to come on stream and talk about it. And then I'll try to do some POW work on stream when it is, when it's like Gatsby related POW work. And then I think we had a fourth thing that I can't remember right now. But we'll try to like have different formats so we can change it up a bit and have some more guests on. And then it's sometimes being the guest having to do the work, and sometimes we have to do the work of kind of preparing the code. So I don't so it's not up to kind of me or, and then because it looks like Paul, who got a job with Gatsby, might not be able to do every week this spring. So that's why we're kind of thinking about trying to change it up a bit. But yeah, and POW. I'm going to close on this. POW got a new yearly subscriber. So, wow.
Nice.
Where do these people come from? I have no idea. And they are not answering my email that says, hey, how did you hear about POW? So I'm not going to do anything about that right now. But in the future sometime, I will try to optimize that email so people actually answer it. Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
That's it, basically. I mean, it's only been a week.
Yeah.
It's only been a week. And also, school is closed. So... Again. So it closed the last week before Christmas. It was open for a week after Christmas, and now it's closed again. So I think that my update in a week will be basically that I've managed to do the regular, my engine, my routine, and nothing extra.
Well, at least that's why the engine is useful, right? I mean, you still know what to do and can maybe bang it out in between of things. Yeah, and
I feel like with having that kind of routine of stuff that I need to do every day and those emails and everything that I've talked about now, it's also easier when something like this happens and Lillian is at home. It's not like I'm sitting down being like, oh, what would I like to work on now? Or should I work more on like something? It's very much like, okay, today I need to get this done, and I can sit down and I know exactly what I need to do, which then makes it easier to be kind of concrete about, well, now mom needs to work for 3 hours. And I actually know that I'm going to work, not just like waste that time, and be very specific with her as well. So I like this routine is working for me. And as I said last year, that is my goal, I guess, for 2022 was to like focus on routine and systems and doing it all slow and steady. So it's working for me, even though I would like the school to be open.
Of course, yeah.
So but you're feeling productive.
Yeah. Getting back into the flow as well. Last week was an interesting experience because it was the first week working with the new front-end developer. And just having him on the team is already great help. But I noticed that I now have to kind of relearn working, because while I was assigning work to him to tackle, I basically had to force myself not to think about those tasks anymore. And it took a while, and it's still taking a little while to basically be fine delegating that. Not that I want to micromanage him. That's not the case. But like, while he was figuring something out, my mind was basically working on the same thing, which is
you're not getting the benefits then.
Yeah. So this week I'm really trying to work on other stuff while he's working on front end improvements, and I decided to just go deep into the back end today to fully remove myself from any front end stuff. But I have a feeling it's a learning experience. It will take a while to get used to this, because I don't know, when you talk about something that we need to tackle or something like that, my mind immediately goes into problem solving mode and figuring out, we need to do this and we need to change the code there and we implement it like this and maybe we should also do that and all of that stuff. And I really have to force myself to not do that, because otherwise, as you said, like we're not getting the benefits of having another person on the team if we're then working on the same thing in parallel, basically. But other than that, it's been great. Leo worked on test coverage for the first 2 weeks of working with us. And now we have a acceptance test suite that covers almost everything in the UI. I'm sure it can be improved, and maybe it's missing a detail here and there, but it feels good to be able to test everything with one command, and we can change stuff without being worried it breaks other stuff, and it's just great to get that system up and running, because for reasons that I won't get into, this was a bit of a problem in the past for the front end code base, at least. And just seeing the progress there is exciting. And this week he will be shipping his first small feature. It's just a small improvement, but hopefully something people will notice, versus just tests that they will not notice. But yeah, I'm excited about that. On the other side, I'm as I said, deep into backend stuff this week, basically trying to get the core data model or the core data behavior into shape for like external integrations. I've been mentioning this a couple of times in the past episodes, that we want to do a Stripe integration and integration with other services. And for that to work really smoothly, we need we need the data model and the behaviors in the core to be a little bit smarter. So not every event automatically creates a new user and stuff like that. And that's what I'm working on this week. And it feels good to finally be able to just focus on that thing and have someone else work on other stuff.
Well, you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to not think about it. Yeah. But just like being able to focus on the backend work without having to worry about other stuff is, well, it's liberating. And I don't feel bad about making no UI progress this week, and just like fiddling with the database, basically. So
I'm excited to see these UI changes. I'm gonna try and break them. No, just kidding.
You're welcome. I mean, if you break them, at least you can tell me and not get upset with me. But yeah, like so far, I don't think it will be that noticeable in UI changes, but in the long run, we have some more exciting things on the roadmap, and the work he's doing right now is basically prepping for that. So that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been finally getting back into exercising a little bit, a couple of minutes.
Are you joining our yoga group?
I'm probably not doing the yoga group. I think I have to get a little bit more into, I don't know, cardio or something like that. But yeah, started doing it again on Saturday and felt sore the entire Sunday. Just walking up and down the stairs was a little bit painful. But feels good to be getting back into the routine. Hopefully I can stick to it longer than last year.
We're going to hold you accountable. I'm going to ask you about the exercise every week.
Okay. Sounds good.
How many days a week? How many days a week is a win?
One is probably already a win.
Okay. We're going to start by asking you if you've exercised this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. I've been also not doing a walk every single day, but whenever the sun is out, I'm getting outside and going for a walk, no matter what. So today, unfortunately, there wasn't any, but hopefully there will be more sun this week.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice.
I'm proud of us taking responsibility for our mental health.
Yeah, hopefully it works.
Hopefully. I actually remember that last week I recorded a podcast for React Roundup.
Oh, how did it go?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I don't know, how could I forget? It's been a week. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. No, that was actually a lot of fun. I think it was on Wednesday. I don't remember exactly. And I don't know when it's coming out. But I really enjoyed it. It ended up kind of talking a lot about just doing fun stuff, because I ended up using my Let It Snow Gatsby plugin as an example, and then the guy looked up canvas confetti, and he was like, oh, this looks awesome, and the lady was like, oh, we need to do more just coding for fun. And so I said, when I kind of wrapped it up on Twitter with a photo from the session, I was like, we were talked about, having fun with Gatsby or having fun with coding again, and we talked, a little bit about the olden days and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it was a nice conversation that I think might, or hopefully is interesting for people. And yeah, just getting back into web, I had that little detour, my dark years when I was making iPhone apps. And just getting back to the web, it's just so much fun, because you can do anything, and you can do something silly, or I guess you can do that with iPhone apps as well, but it's just you have to get it into the freaking app store, which is never fun. But on the web, you can do a 2-hour project with just HTML and CSS and push it out there, and you got something online and other people can see it, and that joy of just sharing fun stuff on the internet, like we did before the internet got serious. This is why I thought, huge part of last year, I thought I was turning 40 this year. And I was and I was so fine with that, my gray hair, and I'm so nostalgic these days, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go into my 40s, and then I was like, wait, I don't turn 40 in the year 2022. I was born in 83. That does not make sense. I realized that in December. But I was just so ready for 40. But anyway, no, I think it was a nice conversation and really good host, or just a panel. So it was a nice 3-way conversation. Yeah. And maybe I'll get to do more podcasts, as a guest.
Are you doing outreach to other podcast shows? And
I will, but I haven't. It's on my to-do list. And I scheduled, so for this podcast, I scheduled a little landing page for 5 Gatsby gotchas for React developers. I am not completely sure what the 5 is yet, but I have an idea. So that the people listening to the show that are React developers, since it's React Roundup, could have something to sign up for. And then I'll do a webinar on things that I see. And I have some things like they don't use the data layer of Gatsby, and then they try to like force other like React ways onto Gatsby that Gatsby has solved since it is statically generated. So you don't have to do it the React way. You can do it like, I don't know, the Gatsby way, I guess. Anyway, so hopefully somebody signs up for that. If nobody signs up, I'll just postpone it and do it later. But if people sign up, then I get them on my list. Yay!
It's a good practice to just like put it out there, and then if people sign up, actually start working on it, because otherwise you waste a lot of work and nobody's interested in it. So
yeah,
this is a smarter way to do it.
Yeah, and
or not do it.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of researching what kind of, because that's what I realized with courses. Like if I'm going to do courses, I need to prepare them more and do more work up front, because I try to do the courses kind of live, but then it's very dependent on kind of my energy and my mood and stuff, and it goes up and down more than I might like to admit, as we talked about earlier on this show. But so with these kind of different things that I'm doing, when I do it live for free, then I feel like, okay, if I'm not like, it's not super on point, like that's okay. So with all of these different live screencasts and the show, and then maybe some webinars on different topics, like it's a little bit to see what people are interested in, and something that people are interested in and something that I know like really, really well, then I like that would be a good first course. So it might be sourcing data or just creating a plugin. We'll see. But yeah.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Don't think I have anything else to talk about this week. Yeah. Should we have topics for every episode to talk about something? I'm not entirely sure. It always feels hard to come up with a good topic for every episode.
You feel like me just rambling about my week was like...
I mean, in the end, we are all like both of us are just rambling about our weeks.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
we need to,
which is also kind of nice. I mean, I
need it.
I need
it. I enjoy it, and I need it. Dear listener, let us know if you want us to be more on topic. But we have talked about having guests on that have kind of been on a slow and steady journey towards, and as part of their, as opposed to founders who kind of crash and burn. So if you know somebody who you admire who's been working slow and steady on a product or business, you can let us know, and we'll try to have them on as guests, so I can like learn from their slow and steadiness. Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. Then, it was nice talking to you again. Enjoy your birthday.
Yes.
Talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week. Bye.